Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September 21st. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we can get started with our session for today. So just give me a few moments to finish setting this up, and then we will get started shortly. All right, looks good. Looks good. All right, so a couple more things here, and we should be good to go. All right, guys, so we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. It's good. There is a link, and we're good to go. All right, as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the zones over here. All right, let's see. Got one right there, one right there. Extend this one a little bit. One right there. There. There's a lot of zones all over the place. One right there. And one down here. So we got a bunch of zones down here, but price is pretty far from it. So I don't expect it to come down at this point, at least not anytime soon. Maybe it might, maybe it won't, but for the most part, it's pretty far from this lower zone down here. So we'll see where price goes as the market opens. Actually, I think price will drop, but the big drops are probably gonna happen later unless the Fed news gets leaked pre-market, or not pre-market, but pre-news. It is scheduled for 11 at 6:26 right now, so it's a couple hours till then. But who knows? Data might get leaked as the market officially opens in the next couple of minutes. So good morning, everybody. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Peter. Morning, Marco. Morning, Slava. Morning, Patrick. Morning, Karen. Morning, Eunice. Morning, Maria. Morning, Mace. Morning, David. Morning, Fahad. Morning, everybody. So today is Wednesday, September 21st. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. Let me check if there was any news this morning that we should be aware of. I know there's Fed news later today at 11, but let me see if there's any news at the specific moment. So there's news at 7, 7:30, and then Fed news right here down at 11. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We could have pre-news events if these and if this information gets leaked, which will probably will, which is not going to be good, right? Inflation is going to go up. Interest rates are going to go up. Economy's not doing so great. So this is obviously going to be obvious bad news. So what might happen is you might get a manipulated push up during the earlier session, and then at 11, price might dump back down when the news is released. It's going to be a lot of manipulation in the market today. We'll try to make use of that increased volatility. So we do have news over here at 7 and then again at 7:30. Right there at 7. And then over here at 7:30. So looks good for the most part. We'll see where this goes. Price is pretty much just ranging between these two zones. As you guys can see, there's not really too much you can do about it. It's really just going back and forth as we see it. Price is pretty much ranging between this high and this low right here. It's just going back and forth, right? High, low, etc. And going sideways right here, which is perfectly fine because the K2SR rejection strategy works perfect with these rangy markets. So as of now, we're still going to be applying the K2, or we'll say Kodi Kai, SR rejection scalping strategy until we find out or confirm that market has begun to move directional. You can see here that price was kind of moving directional during London session. Price did drop into London, and then as London opened, price corrected back up. So you can see that price has been pushing up for about 6 or 7 hours now. So you can expect this to maybe reverse during the New York session. Might not happen immediately on open, but eventually it'll probably start to swing. All right, guys, market is opening in about 40 seconds. So let's see who else is here. Yeah, Dejan said KKSR, right? Morning, Sir. Morning, Jesus. Morning, Funme. Morning, everybody. So it looks like majority of you guys are in here already. Market is going to open shortly. Let's take a look at what the overall bias is looking like at the moment. So looking over here at sentiment is currently 59% long, indicating that 59% of retail traders are currently buying right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and sell. It's not very strong, but it is close to 60%. Looking over here at the pre-market fundamentals, currently up 150 points. So with that said, they conflict. With those two in mind, this is going to be neutral. Looking at the short-term bias right here, it is currently bullish, but it looks like since price is ranging, it's turning into a neutral bias. So overall, it's pretty neutral. We'll try to use that to determine, where the next move will happen. So we just need a confirmation whether price is going to push up higher, or whether price is going to come below. So other than that, we'll see where we take this. Hey, Bajor, morning. All right, guys, market is now open. So as market opens right here, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the opening price, which is going to be at this point right here. There's no news price for us to follow at the moment. So this is pretty much the closest red flag we've got to where price is currently located. This is going to be New York open price. And we're going to be looking for a possible bias here. Short-term bias is currently bullish. Overall bias is neutral to bearish. So they're conflicting a bit, but it's okay. We're going to look at the short-term bias. We'll be more inclined to look for this to swing to the downside. And I think that'll be more beneficial for us anyways, because if price does swing below here and we start to get a bearish bias, we have a bunch of zones right here we can catch rejections off with not any red flags until down here. So we got some time. But here we go. Price is above this zone over here. And let's see if this continues to push up. So just a reminder, guys, I'm expecting this bullish push right here to be a manipulated push, right? Because the Fed news is later today at 11 o'clock. It's 6 right now. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 5 hours, the Fed news is going to come out. And all the news that they're going to release is going to be negative, right? Interest rates are going up. Inflation is going up. The economy is not doing so great globally, not just in the US, but globally. We're going to a global recession. So I see this all being basically pumped up so that price can slump right back down around 11 o'clock. So just keep that in mind. This is why you want to be very wary with taking any buys here. I will look at buys, but I'm probably not going to take them right away. I'm probably going to let one pass through to confirm that it's actually going to keep pushing up before I actually look to continue taking them. As you can see, price is starting to come back down right here, which is perfectly fine. This is what I was waiting for it to come down here because we have this whole area over here to take sells. So the next step for me, if price does swing back below, is that I'm looking for the trend meter down here to turn red. Once this turns red, we can start looking for sells because that's going to indicate a shift in trend on the short-term bias. So you can see right there, it is turning blue. We have a pending momentum signal right here. This is perfectly fine. This is actually going to be an entry, but I'm not going to take it. The candle here is way too big. So as you guys can see, if you entered a trade right here, if price was to retrace even halfway, it would engulf it within the stop loss right here. So I would not take the trade here if it closes. Okay, perfect. So there's no sell signal there, so no official entry. Now that price is swinging below, we can start looking for sells at this moment. So what we're looking for is a wick rejection off the structure, which we do have right here. We need to confirm a moderate red candle. If it's too big, which it looks like it's going to be, if it's too big, we're gonna have to skip it, because if it does retrace, yeah, it's way too big. If it retraces, it can retrace to either the halfway mark of the candle or the full candle. And if that happens, it'll stop you out before it reaches its full TP, right? Possibility, not necessarily that it's going to happen, but possibility that it can happen. So if this closes right here as a moderate red candle, we'll follow it. I'm not going to take the trade. Obviously, candle's way too big. Unfortunately, this thing dropped way too heavily. And it's getting close to the sessions below here as well. So keep this in mind. This area right here is going to be an area of manipulation. When price gets to this point right here, you'll probably see price reject directly off it. And then one of two things will happen. Price will either bounce off it or continue dropping. Or you might get a fake out right here. And with this fake out, price may swing right back up. This is exactly why you couldn't take the trade right here, because you can see where price retraced to, right? Whenever you get a huge candle like this, you want to be very wary, because price will typically retrace to either the halfway mark, which is right here, which it's already reached, or the full candle. Right, so it's already traced halfway, which we already expected. That's why we don't take trades when the candle's too big, or if we do make a late entry. And if we wanted to make a late entry right here, unfortunately, it'd be too close to the session, so we can't take the trade here regardless. I actually wanted to retrace up quite a bit so that when it comes back down, we still have an area to trade within here. If price continues to range down here, that's completely fine. That's going to give us the ability to take at least one or two trades before it comes back down to the sessions right here. So there we go. Price retraced up. If it retraced up to the halfway mark, it would stop you out. Now the next target area for it to retrace will be the full candle. So I'm looking for it to possibly come back here, test this area and then retrace back down, or correct back down. So we're waiting for this retracement to finish. Once it finishes here, we want to get a wick rejection off one of these structures and then a continuation back down. If we get that, then we can take this for a sell. All right, so it's just about patience right here. You can see where price rejected from directly off that line, which is a full candle. I don't want it to come back down too hard though. I want it to just come down enough where we can take the continuation back down. Okay, so we have the wick rejection right there. Off the structure. If we get a moderate red candle at any time, then we can take this for a quick sell back below. It's pushing up higher. So as you guys can see, it's creating a bigger range. So the range earlier was from this level to this level right here. The now range is going to be from up here to down here. This does not look like it's going to close red. So I'm going to go ahead here to the clean chart, and I'm going to mark up the high low so that you guys can see market structure. All right, so here we are back into this range. As you can see below here, there's a ton of liquidity sitting. So when price does finally make its way down, expect all this liquidity here to get knocked out. So we got a ton of liquidity right here on the bottom end. I'm not going to mark this up right here because it hasn't established yet, but as you guys can see, we have a huge range right here. Market opened right here at 630, pushed up, created a high, pushed down, created a low. They're both established. This is the huge range that it's sitting between now. We don't have a or actually we do. If this closes as a moderate red candle and the trend meter here is red and it's not too big of a candle, I'm hoping it doesn't close too big. We can, it's too big again, or let's see. If it closes somewhere around this area, it's fine. We can take this trade for a sell. We got about 10 seconds left here. I got to see how it closes. Got to make sure the wick on the bottom is not too big. If it's not too big, we can take this for a sell here. So let me see where it's at. We can take this for a sell right here. Let me see if I can get into this trade. Let's see if it's letting me. Set my parameters here. See if it's in. All right, it is in the position right here. I gotta watch it because the spread's kind of wide. It's 190. Price is moving a little erratic right here. Trying to see where it's at. Just want to confirm everything, make sure everything's okay. Let's see. Oh, no, this isn't a proper entry. Sorry, guys. This is not a proper entry right here. I thought it was rejecting off this structure right here, but it wasn't. So if you guys are not in the position, don't enter it. Yeah, I misread that completely. I thought this was rejecting off the structure right here, but it wasn't. You can see the wick is right above it. What was I looking at? I don't know. I don't know what I was looking at, but I thought I saw the wick rejection right here, but it wasn't. Let's see. All right, whatever. We'll move on to the next one. So, what we got over here. There's no entry here, guys. So unfortunately, I misread this entire candle right here. I thought I saw a wick rejection off this structure, but the wick was actually above it, right here. Let's push down, and the spread is kind of wide. It's at 190 right now. So let me see if I can find anything else over here. Okay, price is still pushing up. Trend meter turned green, so this might be a shift back to the upside. We'll see how this holds. Price is right back to opening price right here, rejecting directly off the blue line. Let's see where this is at. Everything's pretty erratic right now. Trend meter is back to blue. It's back to green. All right, let's see. This price continues to move along here. Check this right here. This is an actual entry, but it's rejecting directly off the opening price, so no entry off that. Let's see where. I have price drops back below right here, so you can see prices dropping. If this closes as a moderate red candle, this will be an entry right here. We have the wick rejection off structure. We need this to close as a moderate red candle. Doesn't look like it's going to. Looked like it was going to earlier, but not now. Again, right here, it's come back up to retest the opening price. 3 tests right there off opening price. It looks like it's attempting to make its way back down. It just rejected off it directly 3 times. Let's see where it's at. Man, this market is like moving super erratic right now. See how big these candles are. Each candle is moving about like 300 to 400 pips. Trend meter is back to green. So here's a couple of scenarios that I'm looking for. If the trend meter stays green and we get a buy signal right here, it's completely fine. If price swings up here, I'll take the buy. Vice versa, if price swings below, I'll take the sell. There's just no clear direction right now. The short-term, long-term bias is both neutral. Long-term bias is, let me check the sentiment real quick. Remove this over here. All right, so long-term bias, it's still 58% long, so it's not very one-sided. We typically want it to be at least over 60%. It is 58% right now. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently up 162 points. So this is bullish. This is bearish. Heat map here is a bit mixed. It's mostly green though. It's mostly green, but it's starting to shift. So as you guys can see, long-term bias, there's no direction. It can go either way. Short-term bias right here, same thing. The pivots here are pretty much going sideways. The trend meter here keeps changing, goes from red to blue to green, back to blue, back to red. So if it pushes up above here, we can take this for a buy. But right now, it is still having trouble getting past the opening price. You can see how many times it's tested this blue line right here. This is the New York open price. It's tested it about 5 times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5th off this current candle. See if it actually closes above it. Nope, another rejection. 5 cleared rejections off this blue line, which is New York opening price. So you just got to be patient, guys, and wait for this. I know it might be tempting to kind of predict if it's going to go up or go down, but realistically, your best option right now is to just wait. There's just a lot of back and forth movement right here. Going back to the clean chart, as you guys can see, price is still within the range. It has not established a new high or a new low yet, so there's no range within the range. We just have the huge range right here. There's a high that was pushed up right here, but it has not been established. It's just one candle passing it right now. So I got to wait for this to confirm. I mean, there really is no direction right now. It seems like the market makers are kind of bouncing price back and forth in anticipation of the Fed meeting later today. Fed meeting's in about 4 hours. Okay, here we go. As price drops below. If this here closes as a moderate red candle, it doesn't look like it now, but it did earlier. If it closes below here, then this could possibly be a sell entry. But it's not holding. Whenever price gets below here, it swings right back up. Whenever price gets above here, it swings right back down. So you just got to be patient for this pattern here to play out. So if this here establishes as a high and this establishes as low, as you guys can see, price is just ranging between these two zones now. So this zone and this zone down here. There's obviously no entry off this. No longer looks like a red candle. It's going to close as a green one. Here we go. Price test opening price once again. So this is going to be the 6th test. It's tested at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About to be 6. Okay, so price closed above here. Okay, things have shifted now. If price ends up closing here with a moderate green candle, this will technically be a buy for a K2SR rejection. So this needs to close as a moderate green candle with a buy signal. It can't be too big. It's got to have the buy signal and it has to be moderate green candle. So if you guys do decide to take this, you got to make sure that you actually wait for it to actually close. We have the wick projection off this lower structure right here. You just got to actually confirm that it closes with that buy signal because the market is super erratic. It might change at the very last second. Let's see where it goes. Did it close? Or didn't? Oh, I phoned into that trade. Sorry, I thought it closed. So I hit buy and it went straight to my TP. I'm falling into these trades right now. So I took a loss over here, guys. This trade over here, that was not an actual trade. I took a loss on that. I had one trade that I took last night, and then I took this trade right here. I was waiting for it to close. Last second, it dropped a little bit, and then it just invalidated. So I took two bad trades today. One trade that wasn't even an actual trade, and then one trade here that it didn't close completely, but it just offset the losses from that last trade. So the last trade I lost about 2,900. This one trade right here, I made 1,130, and then from last night I made 570. So I'm currently, what's my phone at? I'm still in the red right now, but I just need to take one more win to cover my losses, basically. Man, this market today is kind of crazy. So I'm still down 1,240. It's not too bad. It could be worse. So I just need one more win to cover my losses for that last trade. Hopefully you guys didn't follow me into that trade earlier over here. If you guys were analyzing it with me, you guys probably noticed that it was not an official trade because there was no wick rejection right here. This one right here was going to close as an official trade, but at the very last second, it dropped slightly, and then the buy signal disappeared. This right here is another entry. However, it's right at the session, so I would not take it. It's a complete red flag. However, it would have hit full TP right there on that next candle. So the market right now is just moving a little crazy at the moment. I'll go ahead and take screenshots of my profit so far just to show you guys. You know, I'm just going to take a screenshot of my social trader tools. It's just too much work to take individual profits right now, especially with the market moving so fast. Okay, so here are my profits so far. As you guys can see, I'm still in the negative for today. Not horribly, but that was my bad. I entered the trade and it wasn't even an entry. So this right here, I'm currently negative 1,240, but overall for the week, I'm still up heavily right here. So not too bad. We'll continue to see if we can catch another one here. So let me go ahead and just post this over here so far. All right, so there's my net profit so far. I just want to be completely transparent with you guys, right? Because the thing is, I make mistakes just like you guys. So if you guys ever do make mistakes, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. I see a lot of people here, not just here, but in general, whenever people make mistakes, it like bothers them so much that they just end up continuing to make mistakes. Like for me, I made a mistake here. I took a trade that wasn't there, bounced back from it right here, made another mistake here, but it worked in my favor. And you just got to keep rolling with it. So just being transparent with you guys right there. I'm currently not negative for the day, but for the week, I'm still up. So let me go ahead and just put that there. See a couple of profits over here. So Andreas over here actually took that trade and made a profit earlier. Looks like he pulled out earlier. I should have pulled out when I was in profit. I just didn't realize it wasn't an actual trade. So Andreas over here took a trade as well, locked in a total profit of 1,623. Nice work, Andreas. Kenny over here is currently at 286 so far. It looks like a lot of you guys did take that same trade that I took, but you guys pulled out in profit or it hit your TP. It was really close to my TP, but it didn't hit it due to the spread. I'm assuming it was too wide. It is what it is. It happens, right? Again, right here, Kenny's currently up 286. Yeah, so nice work, Kenny. All right, it's got to sit back. I got to relax because trying to FOMO to these trades here. So let's see if price does make its way back down. We currently have a bullish bias here on the short term. Let's check the long term again. Long term is currently still pretty neutral. It's currently 59% long. So this is going to indicate a neutral to bearish bias. Long-term bias over here for fundamentals are currently up 205 points. So if this is indicating bearish, this is indicating bullish. You put those together, it's neutral, right? So there's no long-term bias right now. However, I do think price is going to be bearish later today once the news is released. Let me check CNBC real quick to see if there's any breaking news. So no breaking news today, but as you guys can see, all of the indices are currently up slightly. Dow is up 200 points, S&P is up 24 points, Nasdaq's up 50 points, Russell 2K is up 5 points. Here's some news here from CNBC. Says, here's everything the Federal Reserve is expected to do today. The Federal Reserve is widely expected to raise its benchmark interest rate by 0.75 percentage point at the meeting that concludes Wednesday. So at 11 o'clock, they're anticipating an increase in interest rate. No surprise there. We already knew that was going to happen. Not going to be good for the economy, not going to be good for the market. Other items the market will be watching include quarterly economic and rate projections and Chairman Jerome Powell's post-meeting news conference. So everything here, we already know what's going to happen. Interest rates are going up, inflation's going up, general economy globally is not doing so well, and then Powell's going to be speaking right after. So, I think price may continue to get propped up a little bit. I was looking at this right here for an entry, but I think the top wick was a little too big. Man, I would have fallen into this trade right here too, honestly, if I saw it. Spread's still kind of wide though, or it's starting to drop. It was at 190, it's now at 170. So we'll see where this goes. Thanks, Peter. We got some news coming up over here. So it says live, Speaker Pelosi holds press conference briefing on Inflation Reduction Act. So this is not going to be good either. If you guys have read about this or followed up on it, this is not good for the economy. They're going to be taxing people very heavily. The middle class is going to get taxed extremely high. They're doing a lot of crackdowns on medium-sized businesses. It's not good for the economy. So Pelosi is going to start speaking about 5 minutes. We'll try to keep this in mind as we continue to look for trades because, obviously this will cause some unusual movements in the market, but we will, we have another news event here. Yeah, we have another news event today too. Thanks, Peter, for both of these. So we got Pelosi speaking about 5 minutes. Obviously, you guys know how she manipulates the market a lot. And then we have Biden speaking later, delivering his remarks at the UN General Assembly. Yeah, there's a lot of news today. There is the Fed news. There's Pelosi speaking right here at 7. There's Biden speaking over here at 7:35. There's a lot of stuff going on. Right. You guys see Rick's message right there. It's Rick's favorite president, President Biden. Peter said it, LOL, your GF, right? Yeah. Nancy Pelosi with their insider trading. That's crazy, man. It's crazy how she could get away with that, right? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Rick said they all do it. I know they all do it, but it's crazy how they could get away with it. I mean, it's just, and it's like so like obvious too. It's not like even hidden anymore. All right, price is coming back down. If this is the case, completely fine. We'll switch our bias to a sell. Did anyone else take the loss with me, guys? I'm just curious if anyone took the loss with me, because it seems like everyone else here took the trade and they won. I was like, okay, so a couple people did. Gosh, okay, guys. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah, sorry for that, guys. I was like, I don't know if anyone else spotted it with me, but that was like, I really thought there was an entry right there. Okay, guys. Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know what I was looking at. Yeah, Jesus thought it was good too. For some reason, it looked like it was really good. And then I looked back at it. I'm like, there's not even a wick rejection there. But it's all good. We all make mistakes. We'll bounce back from it. So hopefully we can catch one here or 2 or 3 just to bounce back from it. And it's right back at opening price right here. Trend meter's still green, so we have to wait for this to shift back to red. Or else if price pushes back up, that's completely fine. We can look for some buys here. The one thing that you want to keep in mind is that news is coming up here at 7, so we might have to sit out the market for a little while. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to take any trades right now. Thanks, Brian, for the little heads up. we're in the 5-minute price window right now, or time window between news. So we can't take any trades right here, and then we can't take anything until 5 minutes after. Yeah, I think that's probably what I saw, Patrick. I think I saw that double body. It just looked like such a good entry, right? And then price just ended up swinging up. I was actually in profit pretty heavy. I was in profit about like 700. I was going to close out early because of the spread, but I wanted it to just push through, and it ended up, completely reversing. Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick said we have 8 minutes remaining and no trade window. Yeah, Brian said he was in profit, but he let it run. Same with me, Brian. I was in profit like 800 bucks. I should have just pulled out. But I thought I was going to hit. It's all good. It could have went either way, right? It could have went straight to your TP, then you would have been mad that you pulled out early. If I knew it wasn't an actual entry, then yeah, I would have pulled out early, but it's all good. Yeah, exactly, Maddie. Yeah, Brian said LOL hit, but not the right hit. Yeah, exactly. I know. All right, so no entries here, guys. We have news coming up in about a minute. We'll follow up to see where it's at. I'm hoping that all the news stays above this area here, so that when price swings below, we have this whole area down here to trade. Right. A lot of these zones here are no longer here, so let me clean this up a bit. This is gone. This is gone. Yeah, a lot of the zones down there have disappeared. There's no entry here at all. If you guys are looking for any entries, I know some of you might be looking for a buy here, but there's no buy signal. Trend meter is green. Short-term bias is bullish, but there is no buy signal here yet. We got news coming up within the next couple minutes. Let's see. Patrick's asking Maddie, you take a double body on candle with a sell signal. Was that your entry? Yeah, I think his entry was right here, Patrick. It was either this one or the one next to it. There was 2 entries right here he probably took. I'm thinking this one right here. Yeah, so Maddie took the entry right here, and then he wrote it back to open. All right, so here's news price right here. Yeah, Rick. So Patrick gave the explanation. Thanks, Patrick. I was about to explain it to Rick, but you already did, so thanks for that. Let me go and mark up news price right here. This is 7 o'clock a.m. US news. See if it was negative or positive. Existing home sales right here. I'm pretty sure this is going to be negative. Let's go ahead and click this. And it's actually positive. Wow. So existing home sales is actually up, or not really up, but it's higher than expected. They're forecasting to be 4.69 mil. It is 4.80 mil, so it's actually pretty high. Last month was 4.81 mil. It didn't really change too much from last month, so it's positive. But yeah, Rick. So basically, what Patrick said is the 5-minute window is we don't trade 5 minutes before or after news. It's from Maddie's observation. He's been back testing it. Whenever Maddie back tests little things in the market like red flags and stuff, he noticed that if you trade 5 minutes before or after news events, due to the manipulation pre-news and after news correction, it's best to just sit it out, because if you get a quick erratic move, like for example here, if this was to shoot up like 1,000 pips, right? Just using that as an example, 500 to 1,000 pips, it's gonna have to retrace back, halfway of that, or if not the whole full candle. So that's why we don't trade around this period here. We wait until 5 minutes after news was at 7, wait until 7:05, then we start looking for entries. So there's no actual restriction. It's just that we've noticed, patterns in the market. If you trade around news, especially if it pushes price, we typically just avoid it. All right, so as you guys can see right here, price is now continually rejecting off news price right here. Rejected off it twice. This might be the third time right here. Price is pretty much bouncing between news price and opening price down here. If price starts to shift down, completely fine. It's Valentine posted his profit so far, currently up 1,296 for the day. Nice work, Valentine. All right, we got about 2 minutes till 7:05. Still have a bullish trend meter down here. So we'll see where this goes. If price stays above, that's completely fine. We can take another buy here if price ends up giving us a buy entry. But at the moment, there is nothing right now. Why does this video look so old? You guys are looking at my screen right now. Okay, never mind. It was just bad quality. I was like, this video looks like it was back in the 1990s or something. This guy kind of looks kind of old fashioned too. Inflation Reduction Act. I swear I was looking at an old video here. It's live. All right, so we got this news event going on right here. Pelosi's going to start speaking soon. They're here at the Capitol. Biden's going to speak a little later in about 30 minutes. So if you start to see some erratic movement in the market, a lot of that's probably going to be based off Pelosi if she starts to speak soon, because she's going to say some stuff and it's going to, obviously it's going to affect the market. Because this event right here is going to be discussing Inflation Reduction Acts. But in order for them to reduce inflation, they have to increase interest rates, right? Or they need to tax certain people more. So it's not going to, whatever they're saying is not going to be good for the economy. Like there's only like a few ways to reduce inflation, and it's nothing that's beneficial for a majority of the people. All right, so if we get a moderate green candle right here, this can be a possible entry. Peter said Pelosi is finishing up her bottle of vodka before speaking. Yeah, no, definitely. Dijon said these politicians have to be reptiles. Got to be reptiles. Can't believe they all look that so soulless. I know this guy does look pretty soulless, though. Not gonna lie. I thought this is something. All right. So price is back below. So I don't really care where price is going because we don't even have a long-term bias. Price can go up or price can go down. My preference, well, actually, I don't even have a preference. No, actually, I do. So my preference is that price comes below because we have this area down here where price can reject from and we can take entries. If price is up here, we don't really have too much opportunity unless price rejects from like this zone right here. We can't get anything from down here, obviously, because there's news price and opening price. But if price goes down here, we have 3 different zones for price to reject off. In order for us to get that, though, we need the trend meter down here to turn red. So we'll see where that goes. Thanks, Maddie. Yeah, it's at opening price. That's all I was going to say. Would have been a nice triple confluence, though. So there's a triple confluence right here. However, I'm not going to take it. It's right at opening price. I think it's going to hit, but I'm not going to take that risk. I've already made a bunch of FOMO moves today. And here it is in some drawdown. So I'm not in this position right here, guys. It is a triple confluence, but it's right at opening price. So it's a heavy red flag right there. And I'm glad I didn't take it because look what happened. So as you guys can see, a lot of bad can happen if you trade at these red flags. If you guys are not familiar with the red flags, just look at these horizontal lines. Don't trade at any of these horizontal lines. Red flags are super, super key. We've been trading live for the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, maybe 5 years now. And we just keep adding things to our arsenal, right? If we see things that cause uncertainty in the market, manipulation, crazy movements, we just avoid it. Like, for example, right here, price faked out right here, but it was right at the opening price. So obviously we wouldn't take the trade. And then it swung right back up right here. So, oh, actually, you're right, Patricia. So there was actually no triple confluence right here, Maddie. The trend meter was not red. So thanks for the correction there, Patricia. I feel like a lot of us are like, we're so zoned in and taking, whatever trade we can find that we're starting to see things that aren't even there, especially like that first trade that I took this morning. Peter said, look at Pelosi. She's not normal. Yeah, she does not look normal. Yeah, Patricia said, chill, trade will come. Yeah, and I agree to Patricia. This is what we need in this is what we need in our community. We need people to keep us in line. Even myself, I need to be kept in line sometimes too, because sometimes I'll be taking risky trades or I'll be taking shortcuts. And thankfully we have members in here who know the strategies inside and out, just like I do, and can correct me when I make mistakes. So right here, we do have a wick rejection off the structure. We need a buy signal with a moderate green candle. If we can get that, there'll be a possible entry here for a buy. However, one thing that you want to keep in mind is that it's getting pretty close to the sessions right there. C6 said, when does Pelosi ever look normal? Never. Yeah, Tyler said those people they hired to hold signs in the background are cracking me up. Yeah, because you can tell that they don't want to be there. So like, look at this girl right here, look at this guy. They like definitely don't want to be there. And they're just agreeing to everything that she says. It's funny that you guys mentioned that because like, if you guys remember, like one time the Fed was speaking and there was this girl sitting in the back with the dress. And then CC was like, I mean, everyone noticed her and they were like, you got to get that girl out of there because she's so distracting on the video. And she was gone like right after. Yeah, it's just funny because a lot of people saw what we saw. All right, so there's nothing here, guys. There's no buy signal that came up. Pelosi speaking right now, so expect some erratic movements in the market. I'm just hoping those erratic movements move in a direction that can allow us to get out of this area. I don't want to be in this area anymore. So like this area right here is okay. But if we don't get a buy entry here, it's going to be too close to the sessions. So it's kind of pointless at that point. Okay, maybe an entry here if this closes as a moderate green candle. But it's probably not going to. As you can see right there, it looked like it was a good entry, and then all of a sudden it closed right back down. Oh, man. All right, so obviously no buy signal there, nothing came up. And here we go, as price pulls back to news price. It's testing news price right here. You can see the double test, basically like a double bottom right there. Off the news candle, you can see the wick directly off the pink line. Another red flag. I know some people trade these as like double bottoms and they try to trade them up. They try to trade the rejections off them, but I wouldn't recommend it because it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to push up, right? It can easily just come right back down. All right, so nothing here. Again. Gotta see what happens right here. Another retest of the news price. So, I mean, there's nothing going on here. As you guys can see, so price kind of faked out up here. It broke out of the zone. Faked out. Pulled back into the zone right here. So let me just clean this up a little bit. You guys can see here that there's a lot of liquidity building up on the bottom, which is a good thing. Actually, there's liquidity on both sides, so it doesn't really matter too much. Here is the current range. We still have the big range right here. So this is a big range. It's basically a range within a range. So we got the big range right here, and then we have the smaller range between it right there in the middle. But price is really doing nothing right now. It's just going sideways. And I was hoping Pelosi would at least push price around so that we can take something, but it doesn't look like it's happening now. A lot of the zones right here are starting to disappear, unfortunately. So if price does come back below here, there's no zone for us to take the rejection off. All right, we just gotta wait for it then. Trend meter is still green. There's no buy signal though. All right, Pelosi and the rest of the Democrats are speaking over here. Biden is coming up in about 20 minutes. We have another news event coming up over here at 7:30. It's crude oil inventories. They're anticipating it to be positive. Check this real quick. Yes, the 3-minute daily is currently running if you guys are following that. Actually already hit full TP. So Maddie actually hit already. If you're doing the counter trend version of it. So it actually hit full TP right there for 300 pips. Let me check the 5-minute over here. 5-minute looked like it's stop loss. So if you guys take the 5-minute daily, which we haven't been taking, I don't remember ever taking this. Actually, the candle was too big, so you wouldn't have taken this trade to begin with. So this was a 5-minute daily. It was too big, so you would have skipped it, would have hit stop loss anyways. Price had to retrace down to the candle, and then it came back up. You guys can see right here where price retraced to. It retraced literally to the bottom of the candle. You can see the wick rejection right there. It came down, retraced, and it swung right back up. 3-minute over here went straight to TP, or it kind of retraced a little bit. And then it went right back up. Oh gosh, yeah, Maddie was looking at 50-50. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing 50-50, it's still running. But I think the way that John would do it was 25-50. So all right. All right, nothing's going on here. As you guys can see, price is literally going sideways, just going back and forth. It's not even a big range. So if I go here and measure this, price is pretty much just ranging between this area for about the last 10 minutes or so. It's only ranged about 300 pips. So there's like clearly no direction here. The trend meter is starting to turn blue, which is fine if price does swing below. The only problem here is that this zone over here is gone now, right? The zone is gone. So we can't even take a rejection off this point. Price, we need to come down here in order for us to take a sell, which not necessarily is a bad thing, but it limits. Oh, there we go. We have another zone right here. I was expecting that to come up. All right, perfect. So price can go either way. I don't really care where price goes. Trend mirror is still green, so we might get a buy here. We need a buy signal to come up though. Patrick said, I think John is running 30-30. So for John, I think, well, he had data for like 30-30, 50-50, and 30, 25-50. Actually, you're right, Maddie. My bad. I don't know why I was thinking 30, but yeah, it was for 25 points. So from John's data, it showed that the 25-50 was the sweet spot. I don't know where I got the 30 from, but yeah, it was 25-50. I mean, he was running all of them, Patrick. I think that's where I got the number, because he had 30-30, 50-50, and then I don't remember what the other one was, whether it was 25-50 or 30-50, one or the other. Either of them would have worked to some extent. All right, so if you get a moderate green candle right here, this can be a possible entry for a buy. But as you can see, the market is literally doing nothing right now. It's not moving at all. It's just ranging. So we even have a tighter range. So it's a range within a range within a range. Obviously, no buy there. So if you guys look closely, price is just squeezing. So if you guys remember, what happens after a squeeze is a breakout, right? So price is just getting tighter and tighter. As you guys can see here, price is squeezing from this high and from this low. So it's just squeezing down. And then from here, price will break out, one way or the other. All right. So obviously no entry here. There's a wick rejection off the structure right here, but it's rejecting directly off the news candle. It seems like a lot of retail traders are just sitting out the market right now, waiting until the Fed news later today. I mean, that's the only conclusion I can come to with why the market is not moving at all. I typically would see it move a lot, especially pre-news, because people are choosing, their direction. But it seems like a lot of people are just sitting out of the market because this is very low volatility for a heavy news day. Today's a really heavy news day. We have Pelosi. Well, this might be the case too, because Pelosi is speaking right now. So a lot of people are probably aware that she's speaking, and they just don't want to trade because they don't want her to say something like, oh, we're going to increase, interest rates super high, and then price just ends up dumping down. So I think a lot of people are just getting smarter about trading during news. We never trade during news, so it never really affected us too much. But, for others, so possible entry right here for a buy. Let's see how it closes. Make sure it closes moderate. Let's see if I can get into this here. There's another zone right there. See where I'm at. Still thinking about it. I haven't thought about it. I'm feeling kind of iffy because of the trade from earlier. I'm going to watch it for a little bit. If it swings back up, maybe I'll make it a later entry for the buy right here. I haven't taken it yet. I'm just kind of iffy on the buys because Pelosi's speaking. I'm not expecting them to say anything good about the market right here. So I'm just watching it right now, seeing where it goes. Let's pull back a little bit right here. Just going to see where it goes from here. And then I'll decide if I don't think I'm going to take it. It's rejecting off the news price. So it's like right at news price again right here. Price isn't really doing too much. It's just going back and forth around this area. Yeah, good thing I didn't take it. So I'm more inclined on taking sells right now, guys. I didn't take the trade right here, as I mentioned. I said I was going to wait for it because there's just nothing here that's really indicating buys right now, right? Pelosi's this Inflation Reduction Act is not good for the economy. Biden's going to speak later. We have the Fed news coming up later as well. Like everything that's coming out today is going to be negative. So I think this push to the upside is all propped up. And then I'm waiting for it to come down here so that we can look for some entries as price continues to drop lower. So I didn't take that trade right there. I was thinking about it, but I just wasn't feeling it because everything here is just indicating a sell. And you can see that price is attempting to make its way back down. It keeps coming down right here. It rejects directly off the news price and rejects directly off the opening price. Once price finally does make its way down here, I can expect a farther drop below. But right now, there's just nothing for us to work with. Price is literally just going sideways. Here's the clean chart. Let me clean this up right here. Clean this up right here. Man. I was hoping by today the market would start to move a little better, but it just got worse. It seems like the market was actually a little better on Monday and Tuesday, and today it's just super like it's just flat. This price hasn't done anything from here. You can see price did make its huge range right here, and then it just started squeezing tighter and tighter down here. See if there's anything else here for me to look at. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit out on buys, guys. I was tempted to take this next one here, but this one didn't even hit, so I'm not inclined to take this one here. I'd probably just sit out on buys, wait for it to come down. Yeah, Patricia said market's crazy. I agree. Today is not necessarily as smooth as I was anticipating it to be. We also have news coming up here again at 7:30. So guys, if you guys have any questions, if there's any confusion with the K2SR rejection strategy, just let me know. I know that we did have an entry here for a buy. However, there's always going to be other factors in the market that you should use in your analysis to determine, whether you should take that trade or not. The main reason why I didn't take the buy here is because we already knew what was going on behind the scenes. Typically, people don't know what's going on. Like people who don't know that this news event's going on right now, the Inflation Reduction Act, wouldn't know to avoid buys right now, right? Because they have to make regulation, they have to increase regulations and stuff to reduce inflation. They don't, it's just not automatically going to get reduced for with no consequences. There's always consequences to I forgot what the saying is called. There is always a reaction to, I forgot, I told you guys what it was before. But there's a saying that's like there's always reaction to an event or something like that. But yeah, in order for them to make change, like in order for people to make change in the government, there's gonna be a consequence one way or the other. Exactly. Well, Patrick just said, for every action, there's a reaction. Exactly. For every action has reaction. So for example, here, if they want to reduce inflation, they got to increase interest rates, which is not good for the economy, because if interest rates go up, people can't buy cars, people can't buy homes, people can't take loans out. So it's not gonna be good overall. It's just money that's not going full circle. Yeah, C6 said Econ 101, opportunity cost. With every opportunity there's a cost. Exactly. So, with that said, I'm not really looking for any buys here, guys. There was another one here that came up, looks like another SR rejection. So this is like stuff that we don't really think about or take into consideration with these moves. Like if you're just a technical trader and you trade off these patterns here, but you don't take into consideration like the big news that are happening behind the scenes like this, and the Fed news that's about to come, you can get caught in a bad area. Yeah, Maddie said this market ain't it. Mike Holiday, price is choppy or blocky. Yeah, no, same here. I agree. Yeah, man, I said just sideways, no movement. Exactly. So if there's any questions, guys, if there's anything that you guys need help with, or there's anything that you're confused with, go ahead and put your question in the chat. Just a reminder, we did push our mentoring session to today. So we will have our mentoring session later today at 2 p.m. Pacific. I'll be back here, after the live session a little later to answer whatever questions you guys have in detail. If you guys have any smaller questions right now, you're free to ask, but if you want to save them for the mentoring session, you guys are more than welcome. Yeah, right now, not really much. So let's see if this one over here actually hit. So this one over here actually did hit. There was another one right here, but it's right at this session, so wouldn't be able to take the trade there. Complete red flag. Patrick said markets trash, both London and New York. He's out. So Patrick over here locking a total of 1,086 for the day. Not bad, Patrick. Solid work. Yeah, I mean, if you guys made profit today, then great, right? Because this market is not really a good market to be trading in. If I have to close out with negative for today, I'm completely fine with that. Because I'm still positive overall for the week. So that's the main thing right there. The main thing is that you don't want to force any trades because you can avoid losses by just not trading, right? Versus forcing a trade and then ending up in a hole and then having to climb out of that for the rest of the week. So I wouldn't recommend chasing this right here, guys. You can see prices pushing up, but I think this is just a prop up until 11. So I think price is going to keep getting manipulated to the upside. And then at 11, price is going to come dumping down. I'm not sure if they said anything over here during the Inflation Reduction Act speech or whatever that caused price to spike up like that, but we do have news coming up in about 1 minute. Thanks, Patrick, for the update. Let's see. All right, still nothing for us to take right now, guys. I'm still taking a look at the market, but it is still pretty flat. All right, here we go. As price starts to make its way back down. It's just still within the range, guys. So price did break out above here, but it just faked out. So this was the range earlier. Price swung outside and faked out for a double top right there. Got news right there. So I would be more inclined to look for a sell here. I mean, not here necessarily, but in general, versus a buy, obviously. So let's see, this is 7:30 US news. Or I don't know if it was negative. Let me check. US news right here. 7:30. It was positive, actually. So yeah, news is positive. And price did the opposite, per usual. So shouldn't be entering any trades until 5 minutes after, which is right there. And we'll see where it goes from here. I mean, either way, it's going to be hard for you to take any entries because all these red flags right here to begin with. Yeah, we'll see where it goes from here. But there's not much for us to really look at the moment. Target price point is going to be this news price right here. Obviously, price is dropping from that double top right there. Target price point is going to be right there at that pink line. If it does continue to drop lower. Next target, well, there's two different target price points right here. It'll be the pink line and also opening price. I think opening price would be a better target price point, but first area for it to test would be the news price right there. It'll probably break through, hit the opening price right after. But either way, 10-minute is still not red, so we can't even take for any sells right now. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's it for the news today. Aside from, well, during the live session, later today, we have the Fed news obviously at 11. So let's see how far this drops. It's almost at target price point. Nearly there. Spread's at 180 right now. Still kind of wide, but could be worse. All right. So very slow movement. Hey, iPhone, how's it going? Yeah, no, definitely. Good to see you here. I haven't seen you here in a while. Or maybe you've been here, just haven't been in the chat. But yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. There we go. As price reached the target price point right there for news price. Just as we anticipated, next target price point is going to be opening price right here. Peter said with the news, actual less than forecast is good for currency. So when the dollar goes up, US30 goes down. Honestly, I don't know what the correlation is between the dollar because it was kind of weird. Like it's supposed to move with the dollar, but during COVID, it wasn't really moving with the dollar. Like the correlations weren't moving well. And then I don't know how it is now. So I can't really say, Peter. I forgot typically what it was because I know there was an understanding that it moves with the dollar, but I mean honestly, I don't know anymore. I don't even use that for my correlations anymore. I know a lot of people used to trade that. Like if they saw the dollar going up, they would buy US30, and then the opposite. But then during COVID, it did complete opposite. So I don't know. We could always put them side by side. Here's XRP still not doing anything. No, I just add it to my chart actually. Let's see where I forgot how I did it before. I think it was financial metric. I think it only works for like certain assets like forex. Yeah, I can't remember how to do it. Before, like I know in forex we were able to add like a line on the chart, and it would be another pair, so you can do the correlation. I don't know if anyone remembers how to do that. No, I don't remember. I mean, I can just do it for you here. So let's just do DXY, which is a dollar index. Put that on the 1 minute. Then you put that side by side with US30. So this is the dollar index. This is basically the strength of the dollar in comparison to US30, right? So you can see that it does move kind of similar to it. Not necessarily like exactly the same, but it does move kind of similar to it. So this is how you can check it, Peter. If so like for your message right there, you said some of the dollar goes up, US30 goes down. It looks like it's like kind of going the same way, but I don't know. I can't really tell. I used to trade like this before. This is good for like long-term trading, not necessarily for short-term, but if you go like on the 4 hour, you can see it a lot better there, right? So yeah, you can see here that it is going opposite, like how you said. So when dollar goes up, US30 goes down. Typically, like in the old days, this would be like a good hedge. So like, for example, you to fight inflation, because inflation makes the value of the dollar go down, right? To fight inflation, people would put their money in the stock market. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to answer this call real quick. All right, guys, I'm back. All right, back to the charts over here. Still nothing going on, as you guys can see. News happened right here about a few minutes ago, and nothing's happened. Price is starting to make its way back down, but it's not really doing too much. Let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Peter said, yeah, it's not 100%, but when news events happen. Yeah, no, exactly, Peter. Brock's asking US index. We can trade it now. I mean, you can trade whatever you want, Brock. The indicators work on any asset. It doesn't matter what you're trading. But I don't know anybody who actually trades the US index. So I can't really say. I don't trade the DXY. The DXY is used for confluence if you're trading something else. Like if you're trading US30, if you're trading gold moves opposite of DXY. So I'm not sure, like, if your question is like you can trade whatever you want. If you want to trade water, you can trade water if you want. You can trade I don't know, do you want soybeans? Like the indicators work on everything, Barack. It's always been this way. It doesn't matter what you want to trade. You can trade whatever you want. Like you want to trade any of the same strategies on soybean, you can trade soybean. You want to trade coffee, I mean, you can trade coffee, right? So it doesn't matter. I mean, you can trade whatever you want. If you want to trade forex, stocks, indexes, indices, whatever, I mean, you're free to trade whatever you like. But I don't trade any of that stuff, so I can't tell you if it works or not, what works, what doesn't. That's just up to you. But I've never traded the DXY, so I can't tell you whether you could trade on there if you like. I don't know anyone who does. If anyone trades DXY, I mean, you guys pop into the chat, but I don't know anyone who trades DXY. All right, the trend meter is now changing. Perfect. It's moving in the direction that we were looking for. So let me turn the K2 SRs back. Where did my SRs go? I don't remember taking them off. All right, let me just put them back on over here real quick to make sure we're not looking or we're not missing anything. All right, so looks like everything's still good here, except for this one down here. All right, so let's see. Yeah, Brock said, cool, got that. Agree. Trade any insurance, but be sure to back test. Yeah, no, definitely, Brock. You can trade whatever you like. You know, if you find something that you like to trade, you can apply any of the strategies on them to see how well it works. I'm pretty sure as long as the asset is directional, it'll work because all the strategies are based off momentum. So as long as price is going up or down, you can trade whatever strategy you like. Even the K2SR rejection, it applies during ranging markets. So that's something you could probably apply to whatever you feel like. Let's see. Yeah, I still have my zones up from yesterday. We're way down there. All right, price is coming down below here. Let's see if we can get it sell. Price needs to stay below the zone though. If it doesn't stay below the zone, we can't get a wick rejection off the structure. So we need price to stay below here, which it obviously just swung right back up. Let's see. Nice work, Brock. So Brock did pretty good on his demo right here. He's trying to, make its way up. So you did pretty good with your profits so far. I mean, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. I mean, overall, you did pretty good. This looks like it passed the count. So nice work, Brock. And you've been trying to get your way up there. And you've been pretty consistent. Small losses too. So nice work with the small losses. Overall, great profits. So not bad at all, Brock. iPhones to just discussing correlations. You may need to revisit the sessions later for clarity. Yeah, no, definitely. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. All right, so price is still below here, hasn't closed yet. Got about 5 seconds left on this candle. Got to make sure it closes below. All right, it did right there. So what we're looking for now is we're looking for a wick rejection off the structure, which we do have right here, and a moderate red candle. If we get a moderate red candle right here, we can take this for a sell. Got to make sure it actually closes as a moderate red candle, though. Man. There we go. Looks like we're not getting a sell here. We still got 20 seconds, so it can still make its way back down, but big push up right there. $12 seconds. 5 seconds. Nope, no entry. Have another opportunity right here. We had about 40 seconds left on this candle, so it could possibly come down, possibly not. 20 seconds left. There's another zone right here that keeps appearing and disappearing. I'll leave it right there. 10 seconds left on this candle. Oh, man, jeez. This is like probably the worst market day today. All right, so no entry off this again. right. Here we go back to, yeah, exactly, Patricia. Patricia said, this is when we say get off the computer, no forcing trades. Exactly. So if we don't see anything anytime soon, this is a sign that you guys should probably sit out of the market. You guys got to keep in mind that it's playing out exactly how we anticipated, right? So this morning I was telling you guys that I was expecting price to drop because nothing but bad news is coming out today. Pelosi is speaking regarding the Inflation Reduction Act. They're going to have to increase interest rates, which is a direct correlation with market, indicating drop in price. Same with Biden. Biden is speaking over here. Biden was supposed to speak at 7:35. It's 7:50 right now, so he still has not gone to his podium. Man, Biden is always late. I swear, he's like. I feel like he's always like at least 30 minutes to an hour late for all of his speeches. He was supposed to start here at 7:35. Rick said he's got a lot of kids to sniff. Yeah, so once Pelosi's done, it looks like Biden's going to speak, and then at 11 today, we still have our Fed news. So again, right here, we'll see if this closes as a moderate red candle for possible entry. If not, I have to hold off. You got to keep an eye on the bottom wick. Make sure the wick on the bottom is not too big, because if it is, then it's going to not fit the criteria. Let's see where it's at. So I'm not in the position yet. I was still looking for it. I mean, the wick on the bottom didn't close out properly, and I was waiting for it to close. So if it comes back down, I'll set a sell stop there to catch it as it drops below. But I'm not in the position. I was waiting for the candle to actually close because it's moving too erratic today. I don't want to get caught on the wrong side. There's no zone there. Oh, thanks, Maria. So since there's no zone here, I guess there's no entry. I guess I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take the trade. Yeah, I didn't hop into it. Thanks, Maria, for the update. Yeah, the zone here, it's disappeared, or I mean, it's not there. It was coming up and it was going away, but it never established. So yeah, technically there's no zone right there right now. Let's see if there's anything else here. If we don't get an entry anytime soon, which I don't think we are going to, possibly right here off this point, if it rejects off this zone here. So there's no entry here off this, but we might get one up here. Yeah, man, today is such a crappy day for trading. See if there's anything else here for me to look at. So we're getting a buy signal here. If the buy signal closes, then we will have to, we'll have to sit it out. Man, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating because we've been waiting for this one trade all day and it just has not come. All right, so it's 7:52 right now, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, it's not looking like we're going to get any entries because price is pushing back up right here, back into these red flag areas at this point. And if that becomes the case, then, obviously we can't take any trades here unless we get a rejection off this point, which I'm not really counting on because we have this buy signal here. So if this buy signal comes up, then in order for us to take any entries here, we need to get a sell signal back up. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat now. Otherwise, I think we'll be wrapping this up for the day a little early today because there's just nothing for us to take. Also, we have Biden, who's supposed to speak. Well, he was supposed to speak at 7:35. Pelosi's done. Biden still hasn't started speaking yet. And then we have the Fed news over here at 11. So give me 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. So let me go back to the chart over here. Damn, I missed it. I literally just missed this trade right here. I actually didn't even hit TP yet. I'm not going to enter it late. Yeah, sorry guys, I had a phone call, so I had to answer it. But yeah, it does not look like we're going to be getting an entry anytime soon. So, all right, guys, it's 7:54 right now. It's getting close to 8. I'm not going to force any trades right now. I know we missed this trade right here. I'm not going to FOMO into an internet late because I'm just not feeling the market right now at all. Yeah, Peter said today's a super risky. Market's moving too funny. And I agree with you too, Peter. So I'm not going to risk it and try and take any trades right here. I'm just going to call it a day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. If you guys are going to attend the mentoring session later, or if you guys can't attend the mentoring session, but you have a question, feel free to message it to me on Telegram, and then I will add it to our queue of questions for the session later today. So yeah, if you guys don't have to trade today, I'd recommend just sitting it out. There's no reason for you guys to force anything today. We still have 2 more days this week. Just like Patricia said, she's out as well. Peter's out. Everybody's out for the most part. This will probably come down to hit TP, but if not, it's not really a big deal to me because I'm not going to force it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me or email me. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here in about 6 hours for the group mentoring session at 2 p.m. And then we'll cover anything else in detail during that session. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your morning. And if you guys don't need a trade, I would just sit out the market and wait until the Fed news comes out today. And we'll see where direction pushes it